The Rubber Man legacy. Monkey D. Luffy, the exuberant captain of the Straw Hat Pirates, is a force to be reckoned with. His rubber-like powers, a gift from the Gum Fruit, have propelled him through countless battles and towards his dream of becoming the Pirate King. Mythical Zoan fruits are not mere legends in the world of One Piece. They bestow upon their eaters the power to transform into mythical creatures, beings of legend and folklore. Imagine Luffy not as a rubber man, but as a being capable of flight, regeneration, or even control over the elements. The impact of a mythical Zoan on Luffy's journey is not merely a matter of strength, it's a complete paradigm shift. Every challenge, every adversary, every alliance would be viewed through a new lens. The Grand Line would become a stage for Luffy's legendary exploits. In the world of One Piece, devil fruits grant extraordinary powers. Mythical Zoans transcend the limitations of the animal kingdom, offering transformations into creatures of legend. The power of a mythical Zoan is not merely a spectacle, it is a force of nature unleashed. The true allure of a mythical Zoan fruit lies in the unique blend of physical prowess and supernatural abilities. Imagine a creature that can move with the speed of a cheetah, strike with the force of a gorilla, and summon a bolt of lightning. This is the intoxicating potential that lies dormant within every mythical Zoan. The power of a mythical Zoan fruit comes at a price, a burden that goes beyond the inherent risks. To wield such power is to carry the weight of those legends on one's shoulders. The journey of a mythical Zoan user is a tightrope walk between fulfilling their destiny and succumbing to the weight of their inheritance. Imagine a young Luffy not stretching his way out of trouble, but taking to the skies wreathed in azure flames. The Phoenix Fruit would have fundamentally reshaped Luffy's journey from the very beginning. The freedom to soar above the waves would perfectly complement Luffy's adventurous spirit. Luffy's early encounters would become breathtaking displays of fiery power and swift recovery. His battle against Arlong would become a scorching inferno of justice. Luffy's clash against Crocodile would transform into a battle for the ages, with Luffy standing triumphantly over a defeated crocodile. The Phoenix Fruit's regenerative abilities would profoundly impact the Straw Hat Crew's dynamics. Zoro might find himself frustrated by Luffy's near immortality. His training would intensify, seeking to close the gap. The path to becoming the world's strongest swordsman would be shrouded in Luffy's shadow. Sanji would face a unique dilemma. His protective instincts would find a new target in Luffy. Despite Luffy's power, Sanji would worry about him pushing too far. Sanji's concern would manifest as constant vigilance. Nami might question her role. She'd fear Luffy becoming too reliant on his powers. Her scoldings would remind Luffy of the importance of teamwork. The crew's dynamic would shift. They'd confront insecurities and redefine their roles. The Straw Hat Pirates would need to evolve, finding strength in their faith in each other. The Phoenix Fruit, for all its grandeur and might, wouldn't come without its drawbacks. Luffy might find himself wrestling with the shackles of near immortality. The carefree spirit could waver under the weight of knowing that death is but a fleeting inconvenience. The fear of losing his nakama might lose its edge, replaced by a subtle detachment. The constant cycle of rebirth could morph into a double-edged sword. Every fiery resurrection might chip away at Luffy's connection to his own mortality. The pain, a stark reminder of his limits, would become a fleeting sensation. The fear of consequence might fade, replaced by a recklessness bordering on apathy. This detachment could bleed into his leadership. The impulsive charges might increase in frequency and intensity. The knowledge that he could withstand any onslaught could make him blind to the danger his crew faced. The Straw Hats might become unwitting passengers on a journey dictated by a captain who had tasted a different kind of eternity. The Phoenix Fruit could become a source of Luffy's greatest challenge. The battle wouldn't be against external foes, but against the insidious whispers of immortality. The true test of his character wouldn't be in his strength, but in his ability to hold on to his humanity. What if the boy who dreamed of freedom had consumed the fruit of a tyrant? Imagine a young Luffy, not as a rubber man, but as a tempestuous dragon. The dragon fruit would have transformed Luffy into a force of nature, commanding respect and awe. The Grand Line would tremble before the might of the Dragon King. Picture Shanks arriving at Fuchsia Village to find a child who could level mountains with a roar. The villagers would regard Luffy with reverence, their whispers laced with fear and admiration. Shanks would recognize the immense power within the boy, capable of shaking the world. The East Blue Saga would take on a more epic, almost mythical tone. Luffy's battles would become legendary tales, whispered by those who witnessed the Dragon King's wrath. The mere mention of his name would send shivers down the spines of even the most hardened criminals. The Grand Line would become both a testing ground and a throne room for Luffy. The storms would bend to his will, their fury echoing his own. The creatures of the deep would cower before his might. The Dragon King had arrived, and the world would never be the same. Luffy's arrival on the Grand Line, no longer a rookie pirate testing the waters, would send shockwaves through the established order. The warlords, those pirates who had aligned themselves with the world government, would view him with a mixture of caution and intrigue. Some, like Mihawk, might see him as a worthy adversary, a chance to test their skills against the might of a dragon. Others, more pragmatic and less interested in challenging fate, would advise restraint, urging their fellow warlords to observe the Dragon King's movements before making an enemy of him. The seven warlords of the sea, once a symbol of the world government's power and influence, would find their authority challenged. Luffy, unwilling to bow to anyone who stood in the way of his dream, would see their allegiance as an obstacle, a testament to the corrupt system he had sworn to dismantle. Clashes between the Dragon King and the warlords would be legendary, battles that would reshape the balance of power in the New World and leave a lasting impact on the course of history. The four emperors, those legendary pirates who ruled over the New World, would no longer regard Luffy as a mere upstart. His possession of the dragon fruit, a testament to his strength and ambition, would earn him a place at their table, whether they welcomed him or not. Shanks, knowing Luffy's character better than most, would anticipate the storm that was to come, a storm that threatened to engulf the entire world in its fury. The world of One Piece, once neatly divided between pirates, marines, and revolutionaries, would be thrown into disarray. Alliances would shift, loyalties would be tested, and the very definition of power would be redefined. The Dragon King had awakened, and the Grand Line would become his battleground, a stage upon which he would challenge the heavens themselves. Imagine if Luffy, the boy who aimed for the impossible, had consumed a fruit mirroring his boundless ambition. Picture this. Instead of rubber, he wields the power of the Sun Wukong, the Monkey King, a mischievous deity revered for his strength, agility, and playful trickery. This wouldn't be just a power-up, it would weave Luffy's very essence, his love for his nakama, his unyielding pursuit of freedom, into a tapestry of ancient myth and legend. The story begins anew, not with a bite of rubber, but with a taste of the heavens. Luffy, now a vessel for the Monkey King's spirit, would discover his powers not through brute force, but through playful exploration. The world becomes his jungle gym, his laughter echoing with the power to shake mountains, his joy as infectious as the sun's rays. Shanks' visit to Fuchsia Village takes on a mythical air. The villagers whisper tales of the Sun Wukong, their eyes wide with awe as they watch Luffy spar with wooden staves, his movements a blur of motion. Shanks, a man who has seen his share of wonders, would recognize the weight of the legacy Luffy now carries. The Grand Line, a sea of adventure and danger, transforms into a proving ground for a god in the making. Luffy's journey, fueled by the Monkey King's adventurous spirit, would be a tapestry woven with laughter, epic battles, and the unwavering pursuit of freedom not just for himself, but for all those oppressed by the tyrannical rule of the celestial dragons. The East Blue, a training ground for rookie pirates, wouldn't hold Luffy's attention for long. His ambition, amplified by the Monkey King's yearning for challenge, would drive him towards the Grand Line's treacherous currents and formidable foes. Buggy the Clown, a jester who relied on shock and awe, would find himself outmatched, his tricks mere parlor games compared to the illusions and transformations at Luffy's disposal. Arlong, the fishman who terrorized Nami's village, wouldn't stand a chance. Luffy, wielding the Monkey King's strength and agility, would transform the battlefield into a whirlwind of motion. Arlong Park would crumble under the weight of a god's fury, a testament to the Monkey King's unwavering protection of those he considered his friends. Logue Town, the place where Gold Roger met his end, would become a stage for Luffy's ascension. Smoker, the relentless marine captain, would find himself facing a force of nature. His devil fruit powers no match for the Monkey King's divine abilities. Luffy's escape, a testament to his destiny, would be a spectacle worthy of legend. The Grand Line, once a symbol of danger and uncertainty, would become Luffy's playground, a canvas upon which he would paint a new era of freedom and adventure, guided by the Monkey King's mischievous spirit and unwavering determination. Luffy's journey wouldn't be a solitary one. The Straw Hat Pirates, drawn to his infectious laughter and unwavering belief in them, would find their captain transformed, yet fundamentally the same. Zoro, ever striving for strength, would see in Luffy not just a captain, but a rival worthy of respect, a fellow warrior, on a never-ending quest for self-improvement. Sanji, the chivalrous cook, would find his loyalty unwavering. The Monkey King's protective instincts, mirrored in Luffy's unwavering devotion to his nakama, would resonate deeply with the cook's own sense of honor. Their bond, forged in shared meals and epic battles, would be unbreakable. Nami, the navigator who charted their course, would find her role even more crucial. The Monkey King's tendency for mischief, balanced by Luffy's unwavering sense of justice, would require a steady hand at the helm. She would be the voice of reason, the anchor that tethered Luffy's boundless energy to their shared dream. The Will of D, a mysterious force that ran through Luffy's veins, would intertwine with the legacy of the Monkey King. Destiny, once a vague concept, would take on a tangible form. Luffy, the Monkey King reborn, would challenge fate itself, his laughter echoing across the Grand Line, a beacon of hope for the oppressed and a storm warning for those who clung to power. Would mythical power fundamentally alter the carefree captain of the Straw Hats? Luffy, even with the strength of gods and legends coursing through his veins, would remain at his core the same lovable, fiercely loyal friend we know. His heart, always open and brimming with an almost childlike wonder, wouldn't be dimmed by the weight of mythical expectations. He would still chase after adventure with a reckless abandon, his laughter echoing across the Grand Line, a testament to his unyielding spirit. The allure of exploring a new island, of discovering hidden treasures and battling formidable foes, wouldn't diminish, even with the power to level mountains with a flick of his wrist. In fact, his enhanced abilities would only fuel his desire to seek out greater challenges, to test his limits against the most formidable creatures and pirates the Grand Line had to offer. The world, once vast and daunting, would become his personal playground. Each new encounter a chance to push his powers further, to discover the true extent of his mythical inheritance. His compassion, a defining characteristic often underestimated by his opponents, would remain a guiding force. The weak and the oppressed would find in him a fierce protector, a champion who wouldn't hesitate to unleash the full fury of his mythical might against those who sought to exploit and enslave. His sense of justice, unshakable and absolute, would only be amplified by his newfound power, his every action guided by an unwavering moral compass. Yet, the acquisition of such immense power would inevitably leave its mark. The recklessness, often tempered by his reliance on his crew, might intensify, his confidence bolstered by the knowledge that he could withstand almost any attack. The line between courage and foolhardiness could blur, his desire to protect those he cared about potentially leading him into even more dangerous situations, his faith in his own resilience sometimes bordering on self-destructive. The Straw Hat crew, a tightly knit family bound by shared dreams and unwavering loyalty, would face unique challenges as their captain grappled with his mythical transformation. Their dynamic, built on mutual respect, would be tested as the power gap between them and their captain widened. The fear that Luffy might surpass them, becoming a force they could no longer reach, might morph into reality. Zoro, ever the proud swordsman, might initially bristle at Luffy's newfound might. His drive to surpass his captain wouldn't diminish, but the path would become steeper. Yet Zoro wouldn't begrudge Luffy his power. Instead, he would see it as a challenge, a call to push himself further. Sanji, the chivalrous cook, would approach the situation with pragmatism and loyalty. His concern for Luffy's well-being wouldn't waver. He would adapt his cooking to accommodate Luffy's increased appetite. Nami, the pragmatic navigator, might take on a more prominent role as the voice of reason. Her ability to strategize would be invaluable as Luffy's impulsiveness intensified. She would become the anchor that tethered Luffy's energy to their shared goals. The bonds that held the Straw Hats together, tested by Luffy's transformation, would emerge stronger. They would adapt, evolve, and rise to the challenge, proving that even ancient myths couldn't break their ties. The lineage of D, a mystery woven into the very fabric of the One Piece world, would take on a new significance with Luffy wielding the power of myth. The will of D, often described as a flame passed down through generations, would intertwine with Luffy's mythical heritage, creating a force capable of challenging the established order and ushering in a new era of freedom and adventure. The world government, shrouded in secrecy and fueled by a desire to maintain control, would see in Luffy a threat unlike any they had encountered before. His lineage, coupled with his immense power, would mark him as a potential catalyst for change, a figure capable of rallying others to his cause and challenging the very foundation of their authority. Their attempts to control or eliminate him would intensify, their agents dispatched to the far corners of the Grand Line, their pursuit relentless and fueled by a growing sense of desperation. The celestial dragons, those self-proclaimed gods who lorded over the world from atop their ivory towers, would find their complacency shattered. Luffy, a walking embodiment of rebellion against their tyrannical rule, would become a symbol of hope for the oppressed, a beacon of defiance against their centuries-old reign. Their attempts to silence him, to crush him under the weight of their authority, would be met with the full force of his mythical power, a storm of righteous fury that threatened to topple their gilded cages. The will of D, once a whisper in the wind, a forgotten legend passed down through generations, would ignite, fueled by Luffy's unwavering spirit and amplified by the power of myth. The world, long shackled by the chains of oppression and fear, would tremble on the precipice of change, the echoes of Luffy's laughter heralding the dawn of a new era. Throughout this exploration of mythical possibilities, one thing remains certain. Luffy, regardless of the power he wields, would remain a force for good, a beacon of hope in a world often shrouded in darkness. His journey, forever altered by the acquisition of a mythical Zoan Fruit, would be a testament to the indomitable spirit that resides within him, a spirit capable of transforming even the most devastating power into a force for good. Imagine Luffy, the Phoenix King, soaring above the Red Line, his fiery wings a symbol of hope for the oppressed citizens of the world. Picture him, the Dragon King, dismantling the Red Line with a thunderous roar, shattering the physical and metaphorical barriers that divided the world and ushering in an era of true freedom and equality. Envision him, the Monkey King, leading a rebellion against the celestial dragons, his laughter echoing with the fury of 1,000 storms as he dismantles their tyrannical rule and establishes a new world order founded on justice and compassion. The possibilities as endless as the Grand Line itself invite us to reimagine the very fabric of the One Piece world. Would the Marines, their authority shaken to its core, embrace a more just and equitable approach to governing the sea? Would the pirates, inspired by Luffy's example, abandon their selfish pursuits and join forces to create a world where freedom and adventure reign supreme? The answers, as always, lie within the heart of the story. A story forever changed by the simple act of imagining Luffy, the boy who dreamed of becoming the Pirate King, wielding the power of myth and legend. And there you have it, fellow adventurers. We've journeyed through the fiery heart of the Phoenix, weathered the storms of the dragon, and embraced the mischievous spirit of the Monkey King. But the adventure doesn't end here. Now it's your turn to navigate the seas of imagination. Which mythical Zoan fruit do you think best embodies Luffy's spirit? Would he soar to new heights as the Phoenix King, shake the world as the Dragon King, or bring about a playful revolution as the Monkey King? Drop anchor in the comments below and share your thoughts. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the journey and subscribe for more epic One Piece explorations. Until next time, keep the spirit of adventure alive, and may your journeys be filled with laughter, friendship, and the thrill of the unknown.